Good afternoon, geometry students. We are doing video 8.3. Our objective for the day is to use the properties of prisms, pyramids, and pyramids to solve problems. Your IXL skills are T3 and T4, which some of you have already started, so keep up on those. Today, we are going to be learning about prisms and pyramids. So I want to talk a little bit about what those things are. A prism is a solid with parallel congruent bases and identical lateral sides. And I'm so sorry that I don't have a stylus right now. So a prism is like what we've been looking at. You might use these lateral sides that are parallel and use these bases that are congruent to each other. They're oriented in the same space. Here and here. Now, I want to talk really quickly about what surface area is, and that requires that we know what a net is. The nets we have are actually drawn below. So this is an example of a net. It is a plane diagram where all the edges, remember these are edges, all these edges are shown. So it's like you take a box and you flatten it out, and then when you fold it back up over here, now we have our three-dimensional object. So any three-dimensional object can have a net, which is this. To find the surface area, we need to think about our nets. So what it says here, and I'll break this down in a sec, is the surface area of a prism is surface area is equal to 2 times the base plus the lateral surface area. What does that mean? Let's look at what that means. First, I need to find the area of my base. And here it's x squared. And actually it's 2x squared because there's 2 bases. So it's 2 times x squared. Now I need to add the area, my lateral area, which is the area of all my sides, right? So here it's telling me that my sides are each x squared. So it's actually 4x squared because all my sides are the same in this case. So let's look at an easier example. If the bottom of this cube here, the bottom was 5 by 5, the area of my base would be then 5 times 5, the product, which is 25. And I would have to multiply that by 2 to get both bases, which is 50. Now I need to add up the area of all my other sides, which are 5 times 3. So 5 times 3, which is 15. And then I need to get each of my 4 sides, lateral areas, and that's 15 times 4 because there's 4 of them. So my answer is 60. And then I need to add those two things together. So 60 plus 50, and I get 110. To get the lateral surface area, we need to recognize the fact that lateral surface area is just the sides of your cube and not the bases. So you can ignore your bases. So we already got our surface area, and now we subtract the area of our 2 bases, which we said earlier was 50. So I'm left with 60 as my lateral surface area. Now let's talk about pyramids for a second. So we're moving on from prisms, and now we're on pyramids. A pyramid consists of 3 or 4 triangular lateral surfaces and the base. So here I have a base, and I have 3 or 4. In this case, I'm drawing 4 lateral surfaces. So the surface area is when you add all those up. Okay. The net is this drawing here. So the net for the net for our pyramid looks like this. And then when you box it up or you make it a three-dimensional object, it turns into this. It's like a beautiful diagram from IKEA. To find the surface area, we just need to find each area of each part of our triangle. So let's say we know the base is 3 by 5. That means to get the area of the base, we need to multiply 3 by 5. We get 15. And now I need to find the area of each of my triangles. And because each triangle is the same, I just need to find one. So I find my height, my altitude, and let's say it's 5. And I find my base, and let's say it's 5 as well. So I take my base times my height or my altitude, and it's a triangle, so times 1/2. And I get that it equals 12.5. But we need to remember that 12.5 is just for one single triangle, 12.5. So now we need to multiply it by 4, and it equals 50. And now I add the area of my base to that, so I write 50 plus 15. I get 65, and that would be the area of this, the surface area of this triangle. Now, to get the lateral surface area, we just need to remember that we need to subtract from the base from our original surface area. So if we had 6, so if our surface area equals 65, all I need to do is subtract my base, which I said was 15, right? And I end up getting 50 for my lateral surface area. So I write lateral surface area, or LSA, equals 50. So as a reminder, the lateral surface area of a geometric solid is the face or surface of the sides of the solid. That is, the surface of all faces or side that are not a base. So we just subtract our base. To get regular surface area, we don't subtract the base, we keep the base. Okay, so now I want you guys to be able to look at this example of, it is a prism in this case, and we want to find the surface area and the lateral surface area. So we need to think about what those things mean. So I want to think about the net of this object. So if I flattened it out, I would have the center base, I would have a side, another flappy side, another, and another. But because it is also closed on the top, I would have a final little box up here that's the base for the top. Okay. So I need to find the area of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. But some of those things have the same area. So let's look at just this first side here. Well, to get the area of this side, we have to multiply 9 times 3, which is what I did up here, 9 times 3, which is equal to 27. But now we need to figure out what the other identical side is that's facing our side that is 9 times 3. And we know that they're corresponding, they're congruent. So we know that there's 2 equal sides. So I'm going to multiply 27 by 2. I get 54. And then I do it for my next set of sides. So I have this side right here. It's 3 times 13, which is what I put up here. And then I realize it also has an identical size. So once I get the answer, 39, I multiply by 2, and I get 78. And then I do that again for the bottom, which is 9 times 13, the 2 bases. So I have that here. And then I get my answer is 117. And I realize that there's 2 bases, so I multiply by 2, and I get my answer 234. Now I need to add all these things up to get the total surface area. And once I add them, I get my answer is 366. All right, that's my answer. I'll box it. Okay. Now I want to find my lateral surface area. Well, remember, lateral surface area is just the total surface area, the surface area, minus the area of the two bases. So I know my total surface area is 366, and I know my bases were my 9 times 13 right here, which was when we multiplied that by 2 to get both bases, that was 234. So I take 366 and I subtract 234 from it. My answer is going to be 132, and now I box my answer because I like doing that. Okay, now for time for the secret hot question. And I know in the examples we only did a prism, we didn't do a pyramid. But so my hint for you is, calculate area of base and sides. I'm not going to tell you how to do that, but you need to do that. And then instead of finding the volume, I'm sorry, ignore what I crossed out, calculate the surface area, the SA, or surface area of the pyramid. And I'll write this right here, surface area. So you have it. So surface area is the same as SA. And then tomorrow we'll have multiple choice options, but tonight just give me your answer in the secret hot question. See you tomorrow.